Before we begin with today's market analysis, I would like to mention our new channel membership options. This is a special introductory offer which will open access to members-only trading strategy videos that are based on high-value, high-conviction investment strategies and are characterized by superior risk-to-reward metrics that target massive, market-beating returns over time. Please note, this is a limited time offering of just $9.99 per month, but members that sign up during this introductory period will be able to lock in this new low rate for the entire duration of the membership. Again, this early sign-up period will allow you to lock in this low introductory membership rate for life, and these new low introductory rates will only be made available for a limited time. Monthly membership prices will be going up after this short introductory period ends. With these comprehensive, members-only trading strategies, I only choose high-quality, high-conviction stocks that are easily accessible, with relatively low share price values that are designed for easy trade positioning, and combined long-term trading gains are expected to far outperform the monthly membership rate of just $9.99 per month. Join now to lock in your low introductory rate and start trading stocks with the pros. Now back to the video. Here we have the 2-hour price chart for Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated, stock ticker AMD. As we can see here, the maker of the RYZEN CPU has really fallen off a cliff in recent trading sessions. These are some fairly substantial moves lower in a very short period of time. This is probably taking some people off guard here, given the fact that we were seeing a fairly decent rally prior to this. This is a very nice price movement higher. And then we sort of post highs here, roughly, we can call this roughly 187.20, in an area that would really look like a triple top on the shorter term timeframes. After we reach this resistance zone, we really just drop like a rock here. I mean, it really does. It's surprising how quickly we did move lower here. And then in addition to that, we also have some share price gapping moves lower. As all of this downside occurred. So, this is a very major turnaround here in a very short period of time. You generally don't see moves like this in a company that's as large as AMD. It might be more expected if you were looking at a small cap stock. But this is one of the most important, CPU manufacturers in the world. They're also one of the most important GPU manufacturers in the world. So this is not exactly a small company, and these are very kind of volatile price moves in both directions, even complete with price gaps during the process. So what needs to be said here is the fact that this recent move lower has done a lot of damage to the chart. Essentially, prior to this, we were really looking at support zones, which came in at 153.60. This would essentially be roughly a double bottom support region, which was tested for the second time during the 1st of July, 2024. So, this is a very significant support zone to the downside. And as you can see here, we have definitely broken through this level. We can kind of extend this trend line here just to make that a bit more obvious. So, there is clearly a downside break here. We're even seeing closing periods here on the 2-hour time frame. So this support zone is now gone. I mean, this is not a valid support zone anymore. And then in addition to this, the price itself is trading below all of its major exponential moving averages. We should probably take a look here at this moving average cluster because that on its own is showing some significant signals. Okay, so in particular, what we're really looking for here is crossover activity. So this yellow line here is the 20 period exponential moving average. The orange line is the 50 period exponential moving average. The purple line would be the 100 period exponential moving average. And then the blue line would be the 200 period exponential moving average. So as we can see here, this move lower really sent this 20 period EMA forcefully through all three of the other major exponential moving averages, and as a result, these moving averages are now pointing lower in the downside direction. And then in addition to that, you do have this orange line here that has now crossed over both of the other major EMAs, the 100 period EMA and the 200 period EMA. So the suggestion here is that all of these exponential moving averages are likely to now start moving lower And the reason that's a problem is because what this really means is that these exponential moving averages will now be creating resistance zones at lower and lower levels. So it will become more and more difficult for the stock to see a forceful break to the top side. This is a lot of changing trend activity here very quickly, and that's why this moving average cluster really looks like such a mess here. If you kind of pull back on the chart here, you'll normally see that these lines move in kind of a more uniform fashion. Things are much more predictable and stable and even and things like that. Here we've got what looks like a spaghetti bowl, a noodle bowl here, where everything is really kind of crossing over each other. And getting quite messy. So what this does suggest here is that there's a major trend reversal that's taking place. In addition to that, we do have a break here in the stock's relative strength index, which is the momentum indicator. Previously, we had a very strong, stable uptrend in share price momentum, which had been in place going back all the way to the middle of April. So this was in place for quite a while here. And as we can see, these recent breaks lower, like the beginning of this descent here, really did break that uptrend activity in the share price momentum. This would have occurred during the July 17 trading session. So currently, there is a lot of reason to be concerned in this chart. There's been a lot of damage here in a very short period of time, and it probably shouldn't be surprising for anybody that's following this stock. This is a lot of whipsaw activity. There were opportunities to take gains here after we saw this prior range break above roughly 175, but prices were not able to sustain themselves here for very long. And then the ultimate reversal here was sharp and drastic. So to the downside, we can no longer rely on this, 154 area roughly as a support zone. Instead, we have to start now looking at 140, 160 as a potential downside target. We're rolling out of oversold territory here. And that on its own is a positive signal. I should also mention the fact that the relative strength index is crossing above its own exponential moving average. The purple line down here is the relative strength index, and then the yellow line is the moving average of the relative strength index. So we have a couple of positive signals here, which do suggest that we could be ready for a turnaround. The only problem here is that we've already broken major support levels. So this does create a very precarious situation. The indicator reading is pointing to a reversal here because we are rolling out of oversold territory, and the relative strength index has moved above its exponential moving average. But the only real problem here is the fact that support at 154 was broken. So this does create a very uncertain picture here. As things currently stand, it definitely makes sense to stay on the sidelines until the dust settles. Or until a more clear picture starts to develop here. Currently, the level to the downside that I would be watching comes in just above 141. So here's the current market analysis for Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated, stock ticker AMD.